25 Thursday morning around this time. Some film recommendations from our movie critic in Stratford-upon-Avon. James Luxford is with us once again this morning. Morning, James.
Good morning.
How's life with you? The last 7 days, all right?
All right, thank you. Yeah, we're slowly heading towards what the film industry considers the summer blockbuster season. So we sort of around March, April, the big movies start to come around. So yeah, after the last couple of years, good to see sort of some sort of normality coming back in.
Good stuff. And are you? Did you survive Storm Dudley last night? No debris to tell of.
No, a few branches across the driveway, but nothing too bad to report, thankfully.
Good stuff. Eunice to come tomorrow. Another update on the weather for you, and travel in the next 10 minutes at CWR. Let's hear your good, bad, and on-demand picks for this week. Then, starting off with your good, please, James.
My good is Uncharted, and that's in cinemas now. It's an adventure film with Tom Holland. It's an adaptation of a video game about a young man roped into a global adventure connected to his long-lost brother.
Hey, kid. A little young for a bartender, aren't you?
A little old for prom, aren't you?
Everything in here. Why the map?
It's the biggest treasure that's never been found.
5 billion, easy.
But it's just a story.
I beg to differ.
Tom Holland, you'll know. They played Spider-Man, of course. This time, would I be right in saying, James, this is kind of like the first big blockbuster movie Tom Holland's done since the Spider-Man franchise really catapulted him to fame?
Yeah, I'd say that. And, it's a bit treacherous because Marvel stars haven't always had the best time outside of their characters that people know them for. I'm thinking sort of things like Chris Hemsworth in Black Cat, The Thriller with Michael Mann, which sort of flopped a few years ago. Robert Downey Jr., Iron Man himself with Doolittle. So it doesn't always work out when they step outside of the roles they're known for, but I thought this was quite fun. It's a bit silly. It relies on the charm of Tom Holland and who you just heard there, Mark Wahlberg, who plays a sort of mentor of sorts. Yeah, a lot of action, a lot of comedy. It's not very much like the video game, if you're familiar with that, but I thought it was fun. A bit of a lighter Indiana Jones feel to it. Maybe not as good as the indie movies, but entertaining and just a big Hollywood blockbuster that I think will keep a lot of people entertained.
Good stuff. It is Uncharted, and it opens in Coventry and Warwickshire cinemas now. All right, that's the good. What's the bad?
Also in cinemas now, my bad is Marry Me, a sitcom where Jennifer Lopez stars in a rom-com, about as a jilted pop star who sees a fan at one of her concerts holding a sign saying "Marry Me," and she says yes.
Yes, I'll marry you. You.
Go!
Do you, some guy, take Cat to be a lawfully wedded wife?
Okay.
Now, on the face of it, you think Owen Wilson, he's always funny. J-Lo, she's big and really good. But for some reason, this clearly hasn't worked, James.
There's nothing wrong with a rom-com that sort of takes things into a bit of a far-fetched direction, but this got a little bit too far-fetched for me. I like Jennifer Lopez. I think she's a great artist and a little bit underrated as an actor for the things she's done in the past, particularly Hustlers, which was an Oscar-nominated film from a couple of years ago. Her and Owen Wilson are nice enough, but the story has sort of too many wild leaps to be taken seriously. As I say, there's nothing wrong with an escapist rom-com, but this lifts too much from better films in the genre and feels a bit sort of like a mashup of what's come before.
Okay. Marry Me with J-Lo and Owen Wilson. From the bad to the on-demand, and I just love your pick you've come up with here.
Tom Cruise drama Jerry Maguire on demand on 4OD now. He plays a sports agent who's trying to put his life back together after getting fired in this 90s Oscar-winning classic.
My name is Jerry Maguire. I'm a sports agent. You could say I'm at the top of my game, but something just isn't right.
Jerry Maguire!
What can I do for you, Rod?
Show me the money. Show me the money!
Cuba Gooding Jr. Didn't he win a Best Supporting Actor for that, I think, at the Oscars?
He did indeed, and probably set the world record for the longest acceptance speech. I think one of those moments where they play the music to encourage him to leave the stage, but he just didn't, and we love him all for it, all the more for it. And a real classic. I think Cuba Gooding Jr. is great as Jerry's sort of remaining client, and a number of catchphrases like you heard just then, show me the money and you complete me. I think we associate Tom Cruise with action films nowadays. You know, he's always dangling off a building or off of an airplane, but this shows he can just be good at just touching drama and very emotional roles as well.
And let's not forget Renée Zellweger and as the romantic interest in that, and the kid who's just brilliant with the googly eyes. Fantastic.
Yes, just wonderful performances. It's the film that made Renée Zellweger, and an adorable young man who plays her son and just connects with Tom Cruise so well.
Yeah, great bit where they have breakfast together and they do the Fruit Loops. Very good. Fantastic stuff, James. Best of luck for surviving Storm Eunice tonight. And we'll speak again next week. Thank you.
Thank you.
James Luxford, our movie critic in Stratford-upon-Avon there. Good, bad, on-demand picks every Thursday morning for you. And Jeremy Maguire.